Second, it is I, Arthur, the girl next door.
Hello, my Spuggums. This is I, Arthur, the girl next door, your favorite girl fiend, and welcome to day 9 of my 13 Days of Halloween 2025. And when I was out the other day, I picked up a Halloween haunted house painting kit. Oh, apparently it lights up. Okay, I already knew that it lit up because I opened it. Something was rattling around inside and I wanted to make sure nothing was broken. So I did open it and checked that all the pieces were there. So it comes with a set of paints, a single little brush, and of course the ceramic house. And okay, I'm just going to put that over here. It does light up. There's a little there's a little thing at the bottom and a one of those plastic tea lights on the inside. So I don't think yeah, there's no special instructions. This was from the Dollarama here in town. I guess the dollar store in the States, but in Canada it's called Dollarama. So it didn't cost me much at all. Like it was under $5 for this project. And I thought it was looks like it's the same on both sides. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so you've got the door, a bat, a couple of windows. This side, 2 bats. This side, 2 windows and a couple of bats. This side, 1 bat. Then you got the roof and the chimney. I thought it was the same on both sides. It's not. I just thought it would be cute to do something different, you know? Because once Halloween is over, the majority of what I'll be doing again will be movie reviews and book reviews. I have a feeling, one second, I forgot the paper towels. I have a bad feeling I'm going to make a mess. I wonder. With that said, hold please. Okay, I opened them all so that I was very careful I didn't splatter all over me. So yeah, I was going to say that I have a feeling once Halloween is over, a good chunk of what I'm going to be doing going forward will be, you know, movie reviews and stuff. So I want to do something different. Take a little bit of red. How's everybody doing today? Let me know in the comments how your day is going. And I do read the comments. I do. Not a lot of comments to read, but I do read them. And I want to answer one of the questions I got in my comment section was, why do I call myself the ghoul next door? I thought that's a great idea to answer it in a video. Well, I've been doing what I've been doing on the internet now since late 1998, early 1999. So pretty much my entire adult life. And when I started doing what I'm doing, I was the weird one. Nobody was really doing what I was doing. The internet was not the place it is today, I'll tell you that much. But not just that. Growing up in the 80s and the 90s, Halloween culture and horror culture was not as accepted as it is now. So I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Trick or Treat from 1986, the one with Mark Singer and Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne. Not Trick or Treat with the little demon dude who and the pack of werewolves. No, not that one. But Trick or Treat, about the teenager who unleashes the heavy metal spirit by playing his record backwards. That one. That's what growing up in the 80s and the early 90s was like. If you were a horror person or a heavy metal person, and I was both, and add onto that, been a practicing witch since I was 14, you got the crap beat out of you. If you were a Halloween person, and most people around weren't, if you were a Halloween person, you got bullied, you got hazed, you got harassed, and you got beat up. So I was the outcast to extreme proportions growing up. Even though the same people that I grew up with watched some of the same movies and TV shows I did, and listened to the same music I did, I was considered the freak and the ghoul. So I embraced it, and I started calling myself the ghoul next door. And when I was first starting on the internet, not only was I doing reviews, movie reviews, book reviews, wrestling reviews, I was doing a Halloween take on everyday life. I wasn't doing it very well. I wasn't doing it very well. Many people have come out since me doing this, and they do it 100 times better because they've got the resources that I never had, or the talent that I just don't have. Now there's like, you go on Instagram and stuff, and everyone's a glamour ghoul, you know, or you know how many, you can't just put in a ghoul next door and expect to find me. There's like a billion women and gay men, some straight men, who consider themselves the ghoul next door. So when I started it when I started doing what I was doing, it was kind of, nobody was doing it, but now everyone is. So maybe I should change my, no, I've had that too long. I've been called the ghoul next door for so long that I don't think I could give it up. So there, that's kind of a back-assed way of saying, but I hope that answers your question. Okay, so you've got the windows painted red. So our color selection here seems to be red, orange, purple, green, and I believe 2 black. That might be, one might be a dark blue, but they're looking to be black on here. We'll see once we get into them. So speaking of haunted houses, it's a great subgenre of the horror is the haunted house. Oh, did that dry already? Okay, so now I'm taking some orange, and I think I'm going to do the roof orange. The subgenre of haunted houses. I think the classic is, now, can we consider Poltergeist a haunted house? No, because she actually is the one being haunted because they follow her throughout the series. So we can't really consider Poltergeist, but House on Haunted Hill, of course, The Haunting. I really like Elvira's Haunted Hills. It's a cute little movie. It's ridiculous. It's based on a couple of the old Edgar Allan Poe stories. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. I believe it's on, I think it might be on Tubi. I'm not totally sure, but I think it's on Tubi right now. And in it, Elvira and her assistant are traveling across Europe trying to get to her next gig. And they get picked up by this guy in a carriage. And he takes her to this house where he's staying. He's a doctor. And he's staying in this house as a guest, and he takes her with him, takes them with him, her and her assistant. While they're there, they meet the inhabitants of the house, who are a very bizarre family. And then you get a little bit of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, a little bit of his House of Usher, and a little bit of his Pit and the Pendulum. Those storylines are all wrapped up in there. So it's a cute little movie. It was Elvira's second movie in 2021. And as far as House on Haunted Hill, I think the original black and white one with Vincent Price is still the creepiest. The scene where the old woman, her ghost, comes across the room in the basement, still to this day, and it's in black and white. It's from what, I want to say the 1950s. I could be wrong on the year on that, but it's still creepy. still creepy, which just goes to show, goes to prove that practical effects are still the best effects. Now I got that song stuck in my head. I got that Sharon Needles song stuck in my head. This club is a haunted house. It's going to be stuck in my head probably for the rest of the day. Hands up if you're a Sharon Needles fan. I know there's a lot of controversy with that drag queen, but I don't care. The music is still good. The music is still good. I know there's a lot of controversy with, like, when do you draw the line between supporting a bad I don't want to say bad. That's not right. In this case, when do you draw the line between supporting, okay, a bad creator, and not, like, I know there's so many celebrities out there who their personal lives are more than just a train wreck, but like they're just evil, nasty people. So when do you say, okay, yeah, I know they're an asshole in real life to like the umpteenth degree, but this creation they made, whether it be a book, a movie, a record, whatever, still is a classic. When do we draw the line? And I think that's got to be a personal decision. Wow, that got really intense really quick. I didn't mean to get like so down. Wow, that just the read the room, woman. Read the room. Well, I'm the only one here, so you know. I haven't seen the new Conjuring yet. Speaking of haunted houses, I have seen most of the Conjuring franchise. The only two I have not seen in the entire franchise, I have not seen the new Conjuring Last Rites, and I have not seen Annabelle Creation. This is how this is coming along. Let's talk about since we were talking about Elvira for a second there. With her movie Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, she plays a witch. Some of our favorite witch movies. Put down in the comments what some of your, please tell me in the comments what some of your favorite witch movies are. I love, well, of course, practical magic. I'm looking so forward to the sequel next year. I've already kind of made semi-plans with my best drag queen friend to go. My buddy John. I don't know if anybody remembers him. He was in some of my earlier videos, like a decade ago. He's this really legendary drag queen in our area. He was in my the What's in My Bag video from like I said, a decade ago, and he's in my one of the first videos in the Halloween playlist here, talking about some of our favorite Halloween movies. So he and I are supposed to be going next year to go see Practical Magic 2 because we both love that movie. So yes, Practical Magic. The point was, what was our favorite movie? What is your favorite witch movies? So Practical Magic, The Witches of Eastwick. I'm a big fan of that one. And I personally, not many people seem to have heard of it. Or at least I never hear anybody talking about it. Is the movie Little Witches. Came out the same time as The Craft, and of course I love The Craft. It came out the same time back in the mid-90s as the first Craft movie. And it kind of got buried. People didn't realize it existed because it came out at the same time. It kind of had a fate the way back in the 80s, the way Monster Squad kind of got buried because it came out the same time as Lost Boys. And it took years for the Monster Squad to kind of catch on. So Little Witches kind of had the same fate. Not many people seem to know about it. At least not many people seem to be talking about it. And that one is about a group of girls who are in a boarding school, and they end up having to stay there over I believe it's the Easter. It's either the Easter weekend or the Thanksgiving weekend. It's been a few years since I've seen the movie, so forgive me for not remembering which holiday that they use. But they stay there for the holiday long weekend, and they find there's a group of construction guys working on the building, and they find an old spell book, and they decide that they're going to call upon this god, this nature god. I'm like I said, it's been a while since I've seen the movie. I'd say it's probably been about 15 years since I've seen it. It's hard to get. It's hard to come by. They decided to do this ritual and call up this god, and it kind of goes horribly wrong. And they need to get themselves a virgin. And the one thing I really like about this movie, though, is they decide to use a male version instead of a. That's kind of like a, yeah, man. let's get some revenge. No, I shouldn't say it that way. Okay. There's that. I know this is going to be controversial, but I'm not the biggest Hocus Pocus fan. I think part 2 was actually better in some regards than part 1. I know, that's like, there's people out there right now going, oh my god, that's sacrilegious. What do you mean you don't like Hocus Pocus? How could you not? I don't know. It's just, it just, I don't know. I've talked about it before. It's a cute little vampire movie, and people kind of miss the fact that it is a vampire movie. they have to drain the life of the kids before sunrise in order to stay young forever. And the sun turns them to stone. I've talked about this about a decade ago again. I've got a video on here. What did I call it? That's a Vampire Movie or something like that. I talk about this and a couple of other, like I talk about Hocus Pocus and a couple other movies that most people don't realize are vampire movies. Well, the bat didn't turn out quite right. You lose the bat completely. I'm not a big fan of the movie The Witches. Either version. I know that Angelica Houston? Hudson? Houston? I can't remember. The one from Addams Family movie. I know she's an absolute genius, but I didn't care for that story. I didn't like it as a kid. I can't say kid, because I think I was, 15, 16 when that came out? So I can't really say as a kid. And I thought the remake was just garbage. Absolute garbage. But these are my opinions. So, if you love it, hey, that's wonderful. You know, that's what makes the world go round. Let's see now. Is this black or is this blue? Oh, we've got two black. Which is weird. You'd think they'd give us a blue, but they didn't. Yeah, they're just not, the bats just are not turning out. So what kind of crafts do you guys like to do? Let me know in the comments. Please. I saw I saw this at the store the other day, and I thought, why not? Something different, and it only costs a couple of bucks, so if I screw it up, you know, no big deal. No big whoop. How's the weather where everyone is? Our weather has been crazy. We went from plus 15 Celsius. You'll have to do the math conversion yourself. I don't know what that is in American. In Fahrenheit, I don't know what that is. We went from 15 plus, I should say, plus 15 Celsius to 0 in like one day. And it's been cold and rainy and damp here for the past few days. Okay, what color do you think we should make the main? I'm asking. Oh, I forgot to do the door of it. Sorry. I better do the door first. Let's make the door green. Let's do the door green. I had a costume I was planning on doing for this year. And I was like, oh yeah, no worries. I'm just gonna go pick up the pieces for it here and there at this store and that store. Well, I waited too long and the stores no longer had the pieces I wanted to get. So it's like, oh, I guess I'm not doing that costume this year. You should always, when you got an idea to do something, you should jump on it and just do it. Don't wait. No matter what that is in life. If it's something as simple as making a Halloween costume, or something as big as like going after whatever your dream is. If you have an idea, you should pounce. Another movie I like in the witchcraft category that, again, I don't hear many people talk about is The Covenant from, I want to say 2005, maybe 2006, in that time frame, about a bunch of, hey, we're kind of uneven, a bunch of teenage male witches who on their 18th birthday, they inherit their powers, and they're kind of having a battle with one of the other male witches. I liked that one. It was different. I really hadn't seen anything up until like that point in movie history. I hadn't really seen anything like that. There's been plenty since then, though, that kind of... That's the thing. Once one movie kind of does well, whether it does well at the box office, or just ends up with a bit of a cult following, then you start seeing it everywhere. Everyone's trying to do that same thing. You have your box office staples, or box office, what they figure is going to be the big box office hit. Whenever something like that gets produced, then usually you see a rip-off copy, sometimes done better, by like the Asylum production house or Full Moon Entertainment. What do you think? Maybe we should go with the purple for the actual base of it. This is going to look so silly. I didn't need to use every single color, but I thought, what the hell, why not? I don't know if you just heard that or not. Neighbors just slammed the door. It's the end of the month. People are moving in and out of the building. It's going to be noisy day and night now for the next like 5 days. Who's your favorite drag queen? I'd like to know. Let me know. Do you guys watch Trixie and Katya? Do you watch any of the other drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race? who have YouTubes. I like James Manfield. He's the one that does all the wig tutorials. I like his stuff. Okay, since I mentioned Practical Magic, and I've read the entire book series, I love it. I'm going to predict that starting, we'll say after Christmas, not quite the new year, from then onward until clearly after the movie comes out, maybe well into 2027, that Practical Magic, the style, the soundtrack, the books, everyone's going to be, well, clearly there's going to be promotion for it, so yeah, everyone's going to be talking about it, but I think the clothing style from the first movie is going to make a huge comeback between now and the middle of 2027, and that the as soon as the new movie comes out, that's going to influence clothing massively. I think we're going to have a new I wonder if okay. I think we're going to have a new batch of witch enthusiasts because of this coming movie. And I know it's like a whole year away, but when the original movie came out in 98, when I found out that it was a book, I went and bought the book. This was before the movie. I was determined to read the entire book before the movie came out. And I did it. It took me 2 days. I read the book in 2 days. I have not cried so much because of any kind of media ever like I did when I read that book. And I'm always surprised when I hear people on YouTube who, I like watching the first time watching movie reaction videos when it comes to Practical Magic. I love it. Seeing what people have to think about this movie and watching people cry because they're not prepared. Why people seem to think Practical Magic is a cute little rom-com is beyond me. It was never promoted as a cute little rom-com. It was always promoted as a horror film, which in itself, it's only slightly horror film, but it's definitely not a cute little rom-com. And it'd be interesting to see how they handle the house, because they built the house for that movie from scratch. They built it from the ground up, and when they were done doing the movie, production wrapped and they tore the house down. So that's probably why it took, this is me surmising now, it's probably why it's taken 1.5 years for them to get around to shooting this movie since they started talking about it. I figure, I could be wrong, but I figure they probably had to rebuild the whole entire house from scratch again. There used to be a lady on here who had bought the spell book from the production. I don't think she does videos anymore. What's everyone's favorite treat, Halloween treat? I've talked about mine before. If you go to my 4-hour video, the first video is myself and a former friend, former business partner, talking about our, if you want to call it a business partner, we're business partners. We just made a couple of videos together. Business partner, how stupid. Anyway, the first video in that 4-hour video is, the first section of that 4-hour video is us talking about our favorite Halloween treats. You ever wonder why certain friendships work and last and certain ones don't? Is it really truly just a matter of growing apart, or is there something deeper going on? I'm always fascinated by people who manage to stay friends for decades and decades and decades. Okay, I've got 4 more walls to do. I'm going to come back. I don't know if you can hear that or not. My phone's making noise again. I'm going to come back in a little bit when I've got the rest of it done. Okay. So, I didn't like the purple so bright, so I went in and I tried to temper it with some orange on this side. And then this way, or this side, I put the orange on first, then some purple. And then I went red and purple for this one. And of course, green and purple for this one. I actually think this side turned out one of the best. You can kind of see the definition of the door and the different layers of the door. Still think the roof is the best. I do like it. It is cute. I do like it. Let's see what it looks like lit. One second, I'll try turning off the, hang on. Here, I just turned off the kitchen light here, dining room light. It makes a little bit of a difference, but it's cute, right? It's cute. Okay. And I gotta say, it was something different. You know me. I don't want to give you the typical Halloween stuff that everyone else is giving you. So I'm going to call that for today. Wasn't great. Like, clearly there's seams here in my painting that could use some improvement, but for what it is, I think it was good enough. So I will see you tomorrow for another video. We still have a couple days left until Halloween, and as I've been saying all week, until the end of Halloween, I'm doing one video a day. So I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Until then, creeping screams!